Making yourself understood in as few words as possible is a powerful skill. In particular, it's crucial in project management, where stakeholders have limited time but really need to understand what you're saying. But choosing the right words can do a lot more than make yourself understood. Words can directly influence the culture and approach your whole project team takes to delivering your projects, in a good way, or if you're not careful, in an unhelpful way. So here are a few pitfalls to avoid and why simply choosing the right words and avoiding the wrong ones will make your projects run much more effectively. The first word that needs consideration is deadline. Deadlines exist, but many people use this word to describe the end date of all actions, tasks, and milestones. This triggers the wrong behaviour. Unless every task and every activity on your project timeline is on the critical path, which is unlikely, then many dates are not actually deadlines, and in labelling them as such, you risk your team members prioritising their tasks incorrectly, rushing work that needn't be rushed, and causing undue levels of anxiety. If an end date is desirable, or simply the earliest when something is likely to be finished, which to be honest is how many people generate dates whilst scheduling their projects, then use the word target date or expected finish. This softens the language and sets a more appropriate expectation. Of course, many activities do have deadlines. For example, the last date that you could present a document for editing to ensure making a publishing date. So using the word deadline here rightly sets a tone of importance and priority. So by reserving the word deadline for just those critical tasks, you're ensuring that the importance of the deadlines are not watered down. The next word is budget. Now this is an interesting one, as the dictionary definition is budgets are an estimate of income or outgoings over time. But in business, especially projects, it is often interpreted as that is your limit. I don't want to get into semantics, and I certainly don't want to get into arguments about whose definition is correct, but consider this. When you do label a quantity as a budget, what some people hear is quote. They expect an exact figure. Now, if you're confident in your figures, or you're at the point in a particular activity or phase of your project where you should be accurate, then by all means use the word budget. But if not, or until that point of the project is reached, you should qualify your numbers with the word estimate. If people aren't happy with it being an estimate, then you need to have a conversation about it, in which case this subtle change in your choice of words has stimulated a valuable and necessary conversation. And conversations that align the expectations of the project team and the project stakeholders are much more effective the earlier they happen. And whilst we're on the subject of estimates, my final tip is that choosing the word estimate to describe a number, a cost, or a timescale isn't the only way you can avoid having accuracy misinterpreted as precision. So if you have an estimate, then avoid making it look precise. What do I mean by that? If you've bottomed up an estimate, chances are your calculations will be quite exact. Say £13,457 is at the bottom of a spreadsheet column. Don't use this number. Say or write down around £13,500, or better still, say between £13,000 and £14,000. That way you are reinforcing the message that this is just an estimate. You're also giving a hint at how accurate the estimate is. Similarly with dates, whilst I'm in the early stages of drafting a project schedule, my dates are not going to be precise. However, scheduling software does have to allocate every task with actual end dates. But these dates have been based upon estimates of work and estimates of duration. So, to where I need to ensure that these dates are seen as accurate but not precise, I will use words like mid-April rather than, say, April the 12th. So there you go. Choice of words is not only important for being understood, it can help you to ensure that the project stakeholders are crystal clear on what is being estimated and what is being promised. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.